So any season that came after the winter that we just had was always going to have a rough time. But then spring, well, it came. Now, don't get me wrong, yeah, there's plenty of banger series, some hidden gems and a new shonen, but it just didn't have that same big dick energy of that previous season. As well as Netflix holding back one of the most exciting series of the season until the week before the next season has almost begun. Netflix. It's summer again, yeah, really. Not that it makes a difference, only now at least you have even more seasonal releases to try and keep up with. And hey, it's slightly warmer outside. This video is going to be short and sweet and tell you most of the who, what, where, when and why of this season's originals, sequels, sequels to sequels, adaptations, movies and all that good stuff. If I think it looks good, I find it interesting, or you should give it more attention, then Gary over there is going to play some random sound effect. If a series looks mid or you shouldn't expect much from it, then it doesn't get any special treatment. And if it's bad, then I'm just not going to waste your time. So as long as summer either matches that spring energy or does even better, then it's all good. Right? I mean, hey, at least we got the second season of Musho. No, we're going to start off with the sequels, as well as series that are actually sequels to a sequel, because hey, that's how we make money now. So with Samsung having just shown the entire world how everyone on the internet is down bad for a bunch of pixels, then Kobayashi's realistically proportioned dragon waifus making a return after a couple of years out should help ease that pain, and hopefully take you away from all of those OnlyFans catgirls and seductive Samsung Sams for the more wholesome and socially holy shit. In case you forgot, it's animated by Kyoto Animation, the same Kyoto Animation that are also dropping another free movie, which is confusing but also shows just how much they know their fans and demographics. We want wholesome and cute adventure series, but also want some softcore yaoi when the lights are off and nobody's watching. Shh. You know you can expect it to look good, and hopefully it's just as wholesome as that first season. It's a sequel and the name is in the title, so you already know what's up. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. The second season of the second season, but not the spin-off that aired last season, is coming up, and yeah, I haven't seen this much translucent liquid in a long time. And yeah, 3 seasons of slime back to back to back. As well as sequels for Higurashi When They Cry, which is still somewhere in my watch list. I'm Standing on a Million Lives Season 2, Idolish 7, Big Muscle Man Yaoi Hentai Fire on His Fingertips Season 2, and My Next Life is a Villainess. They're all sequels, so you know what's happening. Now, let's move to shit that actually seems interesting. MAPPA have another series dropping this season, adapted from a manga that you probably never heard of. Heion Sedai no Idaten takes place in a post-monster world, where all the monsters that once ran around have been sealed away by the fighting gods or Idaten. The story then picks up 800 years later, with Hayato running through the sky when he sees a generic looking bad guy trying to unseal all of these monsters, and he tries to stop it. So I caught up with the manga and it was pretty mid. It wasn't a life-changing experience or anything special, but the story really makes it feel like you're dealing with a standard shonen battle series, and you basically are. But it's actually kinda cool, and with how the trailer looks, MAPPA really look like they've done a good job on it. There's a couple of scenes thrown in there to shock you and make it feel like it has some more edge to it, but what do you expect from the chat writers of Interspecies Reviewer? Hey, check out chapter 24 and you'll see what I mean. And it turns out the artist is actually the author of Dragon Maid. It's got 2 of the community's favourite things, lollies and lollies fighting, so this could be a surprise package. Check it out if you like cool art and anime, or if you're just a fight junkie. How a realist hero rebuilt a kingdom is an isekai set in a generic isekai circle city with a generic looking isekai protagonist, and is made by JC Staff. I really don't care about JC Staff, but what I do find funny is how these isekai series with the same characters, settings and titles are still a thing. And now it's actually gotten to such a point where we actually have finance isekai. So if you're like myself and have a crippling addiction to generic looking isekai, then you're probably going to check this one out. It's weird, but you can always tell an anime is flexing when they've one of these motorcycle by the ocean scenes. They just always look sick. Shiroi, Suna and Aquatop, where the 2 girls meet in the ruins of a damaged dream, made me cry when watching the trailer. Now, either I'm emotionally unstable, or maybe it's the fact that this looks like it could be the best slice of life we've had so far this year. The art looks crisp, and there's a blue-haired waifu that looks like Roxy since she can't make it this season. It's the only beach I'm going to see this summer, and some water that you could wrap yourself up in and drown in. Yo, don't worry about me, it just looks that good. It follows 2 girls that meet in an aquarium in Okinawa and follows their relationship from there. The studio behind this one is the same one that brought you Angel Beats, so they know how to suck that face liquid out of you. And it looks like one of those slices of life that will make you feel warm inside but actually completely destroy you towards the very end. So that's great. Where the fuck's Gary? Sonny Boy is a new original survival anime coming from Madhouse. The premise is that a school enters a different dimension, where the students then begin to awaken their supernatural abilities, all while this sick OST plays in the background and just drops vibe after vibe upon you. It sounds like the Breakfast Club meets New Mutants, but animated and on DMT. And just a quick bit of research, the character design is actually done by the same guy that did Perfect Blue. And the director is from One Punch Man Season 1. Not Season 2, we just don't talk about that shit anymore. There's not much else to report on it apart from the fact that it looks artsy, but it also gives that vibe that something darker could be happening beneath the surface of it all. Yeah, this is gonna flop, isn't it? Nighthead 2041 comes in as the new CGI series, and it actually doesn't look that bad. But then again, the bar was never that fucking high to begin with. It's a cat and mouse story of two dangerous brothers who escaped a facility for gifted children, getting chased down by another set of brothers. This sort of premise always reminds me of Terran Resonance, and that was pretty good. So regardless of all the CGI that it has, I think it's completely worthy of adding it to my watch list, and yeah, I'll probably just get to it later. Vanitas no Carte, or the case study of Vanitas, is based on a manga of the same name. Humans and vampires exist in the same world, only vampires can fall under this curse. And as a result, more and more of these cursed vampires start popping up and causing trouble, which then leads to a massive amount of serial killings taking place in Paris. It starts with Noe, a vampire looking for a special book, only he meets Vanitas, who's a doctor and also a human who happens to use that book to cure vampires of that curse. The two basically end up having to team up to show that Vanitas is actually who he is and is actually capable of doing all that he claims to. And this story just really plays out from there. There's fast fights, crazy weapons, unique powers, sexy dudes. Wait, hold up. It kind of reminds me of Bungo Stray Dogs. Vanitas acts as carefree as Dazai does, and it's made by Studio Bones. Try to keep an eye out for this one. Scarlet Nexus is one of those end-of-the-world scenarios where huge monsters from somewhere else have turned up and begun to eat people. Bad. So, what happens? Well, a couple of kids with some exaggerated swagger and psychic powers make up an elite defense force to fight against them. Now, does it sound like it's been done before? Yeah. It really does. But it's an end-of-the-world scenario, so hopefully it's actually something new and isn't just some recycled premise that we've seen before. It's made by Sunrise Studios, so there's always hope that it could come in as a surprise package and not just an anime that's being made to bring more attention to a subpar game that's also being released at the same time. That's exactly what it's going to be, isn't it? Anyway, next up we've Mappa showing us what overworking your animator. Oh look, there's water in this one. Maid is this season's sport anime from Mappa, which means there's no source material for it. But we've seen this before and know how this one works. Young boys in water usually means either some softcore yaoi or the summer barbecue at your local church. The story follows dude A, who returns from injury and tries to break back into his school's water polo team. Wait, what sort of school had a fucking water polo team? It's got water and it's made by Mappa, so you at least know that shit's gonna look good. But with the fact they've changed so many Jujutsu Kaisen movie and the end of Attack on Titan coming up, you have to feel sorry for the anime. Look at water go splashy. The big movies this season are all off of franchises and are mostly sequels. We've got My Hero Academia, Free 4, Fake Grand Order, and The 7 Deadly Sins. Now, just before you click off this video, I have a trade offer for you. For all that information I just gave to you, I asked for you to trade me either a like, comment, or a sub, but it's really up to you what to do. So, bye.